Peace, y'all. What's cracking? Before we start this episode of Real Notes, I wanted to let you know that my first book ever, Real Notes, Culture Writing on the Margins of Music and Movies, is out on March 8th, 2024. About 2-ish years ago, my good homie Austin Williams approached me about writing a primer on the worlds of digital journalism, criticism, and how they intersect for his journalism students over at City College. And naturally, I jumped at the opportunity. This book is part autobiography, part journalism textbook, and part essay collection spotlighting some of my earlier work, particularly from my old stomping grounds over at djbooth.net. Shout out to Z for the permission for letting me use all my old work. This industry has always been unstable, but with layoffs and general consolidation happening at publications all over, this book feels even more pertinent now than it did while I was writing it. And while it may be for students, anyone who's a fan of writing, music, film, and this podcast in particular will probably appreciate it. This book is only available digitally through the Kindle app for now. I promise we got physical stuff coming, but we're doing something special for that, so y'all just got to stay locked in. But for now, go to Amazon, search for Real Notes, Culture Writing on the Margins of Music and Movies, and pre-order today. No, you don't need to have a Kindle in order to read the book. Just download the Kindle app, and your pre-order will be sent to you on release day. Good looks to all of y'all for your support and your consideration. It really, really means the world. Now let's get to talking. What's good, y'all? My name is Dylan Green, and this is Real Notes, a space dedicated to blurring the cultural and artistic lines between rap and film. I'm here to chop it up with everyone from rappers and producers to journalists and video directors about their relationship to movies and how, if at all, film inspires their craft. My guest this week is New York rapper-producer LIFEOFTHOM. We spoke about Poor Things, Wally, Inception, his love for anime, particularly the show Bakuman, environmental conservation, the versatility of his discography, and the concept and creative process behind his projects Floor 11 and Room 44. Come fuck with us.
It's an honor, bro. One, thank you. Like I fuck with this show so hard. Like I've tuned into like a lot of these, you know what I mean? And I've watched you grow with each of them, and I think like it's super dope that like we're finally getting a time to sit together and like, you know, run one, but just, you know, see where it's gonna go after. Like super cool, bro.
Thank you, bro. That means so much. Like I be trying to do cool shit with this, and it always means a lot when people recognize that, you know, and like, you know, like we haven't known each other for too long, so like that means even more. Just like the fact that you were like already tuned in. Like I've been tuned in, like your shit's dope. So you know, like it's like we here, and this is the time. This is the time. We needed it to happen. Excuse me, right now. That's gonna happen a bunch. That's gonna happen a bunch. Damn. So I mean, we're recording, so fuck it. What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to Real Notes. I don't like. I'm going back to season 1 vibes with not knowing what order any of this shit's gonna come out in, because it's all like, this is like the third one of these I've recorded like since I started back up. So I'm like back, getting back in the saddle. It's Dylan Green, CineMasai. Got a lot of names, do a lot of shit outside, inside, all sides. And I'm with somebody else who's also outside, inside, everywhere. I see this motherfucker all over the place. He's as many places as I am, damn near. Fucking damn, Washington Heights' finest rapper, producer, fucking yeah, LIFEOFTHOM is here, man. Like we finally made it happen. Like yeah, nah, like Tom and I have been talking about this for a while, and I'm happy, like, you know, like he said, to finally get to like sit down and do this. You know, Room 44 is out now. Or it's been out for probably like what, like 2 months?
Almost like 2 months. 2 months, I'd say.
Yeah, no, something like that. But yeah, no, like you and you and James Burns went crazy on it. Congratulations.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
And yeah, nah, back to you. Like, thank you for wanting to come here. It means a lot. It means a lot that anybody wants to come here. So thank you for your time. You're in a Starbucks right now, and like that's like real. That's real fucking dedication. That's real love.
Oh yeah. Come on, man. No, I mean, bro, I'm super stoked to be. I'm super stoked to, like, you know what I mean, just to be putting out great music that, like, you know, can resonate and, you know, put me in like these positions to be able to, you know, just like talk, man, and like more than that, just like express myself further to the world. Like I feel good, bro.
Good shit, man. I'm happy to hear that. And I want to, and yeah, I'm happy you brought it up in that way because I want to get to all of that. But before we do, I got to ask you the first question I ask everybody who comes on here, which is, what was the last movie or TV show you watched that you had a strong opinion about?
Bro, I really like Poor Thing with Emma Watson.
Yeah, Emma Stone.
Emma Stone. Not Emma Watson.
It's crazy.
Dude, great, bro. Wes Anderson is like, I don't even know. Like, I really like the film style. I have a strong opinion about it. I think that a lot of people need to pay attention to the main character in that movie because if you peep, she was really like, she died, bro. And then like, they installed a whole nother mind in her and she was just moving so present with no like consequences of her actions. She was honest about every interaction. And funny, I listen to Creative Act by Rick Rubin like every day. Like I've probably done gone through the book 20 times at this point. But and today in this excerpt, he's talking about like a child, you want to move through this world as with no consequences and radical love and radical honesty. It's just like a superpower. So like, just seeing her in that, man, like reminded me like, bro, I like think this world would be a better place if we all learned how to like come from that same core expression. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know, the movie just really, it teaches you that, bro. Like every poor thing has like a greater outlook and a beautiful result at the end of the day. For me, like I just think that movie's fucking awesome, man. Everyone should watch that.
Yeah, no, that shit was tight. I saw it with my partner. I want to say like about a month ago, like right before the end of 2023. And I'm a big fan of the writer director. His name's he's a Greek guy. His name's like Yorgos Lanthimos. I think that's his name. I don't know.
Pause. I said Wes Anderson. That is my ignorance. My bad.
You're good, bro. Don't even try.
Yeah.
But he made this other movie that Emma Stone was in called The Favorite that I really fuck with hard body. But this was way different just because, like you said, it was like I hate to put it like this sometimes, but it really did feel like I liked this movie for a lot of the same reasons I liked a lot of like early Tim Burton stuff. It really felt like it really felt like a Tim Burton movie for grown-ups and like with like black people in it. So like that was kind of tight. Like
that's fire. I never even thought about it that way. Right. That's fire. Nah. Oh, dude. I agree all the way.
But like, like it was it's like her whole vibe is just like, I mean, she was obviously like a different person and she eventually learns like who she was before she gets the new brain, before she gets her baby's brain put in her body. But like just kind of seeing her like experience the world and figure out like what pleasure is and what pain is.
Like and all these natural senses, and she's just learning them mad, just honest, bro.
Like, right, and it all came so quick too, and then like she like starts to grow and becomes her own person, learns about socialism, like learns about like just like the power that like she has as a woman, just like super fucking dope movie, man. Like I like I knew I was going in like expecting it to be cool, but like it was one of the best things I saw last year. I wasn't expecting to love it like I did because I didn't know if like it was going to be able to top The Favorite, but it was like almost as good as that. And on top of that, it was just OD funny. Like the movie is so goddamn funny.
A lot of comedic as fuck, bro. I like whoever wrote this shit, bro. Like definitely knew how to be clever with certain shit. Cause I was like, yo,
Yeah, nah, I'm like. Yeah, I don't know. Just like everything, like to me, the thing that really sticks out about it to me is like Emma Stone's performance in it is so crazy because like when she first has the new brain in her body, she's like learning how to walk and shit like an infant, and you can like see her like her movements awkward and like forced, and she doesn't like know like the strength of her body and shit. And then like halfway through, she just starts you start to notice her like pose. become a little more like
and it's interesting because
intentional and like
she's a full grown ass adult. You know what I mean? So you're seeing these like you're seeing a grown ass adult trying to learn how to like walk and shit, looking mad weird. Like it's just so fire, bro. Like I think that's so cool, and I know you kind of see that in real life with some other people. You know, like you know that shit. You know, there's some people that have a full reset later on. They've gotta relearn. You know, we all go through that different ways, but it was cool to just see how they capture that in that perspective.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like I'm a really big fan of like physical acting in that way, and like the physical acting from her there is just crazy. Like it just I've been meaning to go back and rewatch it, but like I loved Poor Things. I fuck with that shit so hard.
It's so good. Yeah. I give it a 5 out of 5 easily. Like it's definitely worth it. Very much.
How recently you seen it? Like recently?
Honestly, yeah, like about maybe I would say 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah, like 3 weeks ago. Really good.
And where'd you see it at?
I went with my mom, and we went to.
Wow, that's the movie you went to go see with your mom, huh? That's crazy.
Yeah,
I like that. I respect that. That's funny though.
we went to right there on the 42nd. We went to 42nd AMC, and she was the one who wanted to watch it, not me, bro. Like she was like, I want to go see this movie. I'm like, Ma, like, all right. I'm just saying, like, this is not something I think I'd watch with my mother, but okay, we're here, so let's go.
Fuck it. So okay, so I gotta ask, how'd she like it? And what did y'all talk about after you saw it?
We talked about the film style. The film style was like heavily, you know what I mean? I think that what caught my interest because I was like, a lot of these scenes are very similar to like a lot of music videos I see. And like, I like the fisheye lens a lot. I like the compositions, that was really like, that was what had me drawn the most. And, me just being someone that like visually, I'm very compelled on that end. Like I was drawn, like I was inspired the whole movie. I'm just like, holy fuck, like bro, what, like, dude, I mean, there's a treatment I'm working on right now that's like references that whole movie.
That's crazy, son. Oh, I love to hear that.
Yeah.
And I'm happy you brought the music video bit because like I saw a lot of that, especially with the fisheye lenses. Like, I mean, for me, whenever I see a fisheye lens, I automatically think of Hype Williams. That's just where my brain goes. Yeah. But like to me, like on the Tim Burton tip, it really felt like to me the visual style, it felt like a fucking pop-up book for kids, like for adults, just like the art style and like the aesthetic. There's this really old German expressionist movie from like the 20s. I always it's called The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. Like I think you might be able to find it somewhere, but like,
wait, what's it called? Let me write this down.
It's called The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. You spell I think Caligari is spelled Caligari. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, like it's this like German expressionist film from way back when like filmmaking first started in like the 1910s and the 1920s, and like the way the sets would look, it was all like super duper like angular and like square based, and like it looked a lot like the stuff they did in Poor Things. And like the film student kid in my head was like, that's Cabinet of Dr. Caligari right there, like I saw it and I was like, it had been so long since I'd pulled that reference out of my brain, and I was like, it's crazy to see something like that, still influencing people like over 100 years after it came. Like the shit's crazy. It's like I think it's a silent movie, but it's on some streaming service. It was on Netflix for a while, but like it's worth it. It's really
that old. It didn't even have dialogue. It was just
it's old, bro. It's old. I gotta look it up. Let me see how old it's. The Cabinet of Dr. 1920.
Wow. Yeah. They didn't even introduce scripts by then. They were just only using just motion, physical body.
Yeah, that and because I don't think they started incorporating sound into movies until like the late 20s or early 30s.
It was the late 20s.
Yeah, no, whenever the Jazz Singer came out, the Jazz Singer was the first big one that had 1927. Yeah, so sound wasn't coming for another 7 years.
That's crazy.
But movies like that really kind of leaned into like the theatricality of like the sets and the acting, obviously, because like you're acting, you got to act OD when you have no sound.
Right.
So like, you know, like it kind of had that element, but like everything was on 11. Like
so
everything was on 11. Yeah,
it's
just
so
super,
hard.
super
You know, it's
fucking
another
cool.
film like that, like Clockwork Orange.
Clockwork Orange, yeah. Definitely.
Yep,
Definitely.
Yep. I love films like that, contemporary and just like straight to the point, detail packed out. Like, but you know, it's movement, a lot of movement. I like that.
Yeah, nah, that's I just had somebody else on recently, and we also talked about Clockwork Orange. Yeah,
that movie's just crazy, man. Like very long. It brings you to so many different endings. Like I'm just like, what? Shouts my boy William. He put me onto that like last year. I'm not gonna lie. Great film.
That's tight. Okay, so you saw it recently. Yeah, nah, I saw it for the first time when I was in either high school or college. I don't remember exactly when.
Film.
Yeah, it's from like the 70s, maybe the 80s. So Stanley Kubrick was 71. Yeah, it's from 71.
Wow, fresh off that 60s era for sure.
Yeah, nah, I like just like the look of the Droogs and like the way the milk bar looks and like just like the design of the Clockwork Orange is crazy.
Crazy. Yeah, it's out of this world. I definitely take inspiration from it for sure. Like visually.
I feel that. So let's run it all the way back with you in that case. What's the first movie experience you can remember having? It could be at the theater, it could be at your cousin's house, like the first thing that comes to mind for you.
Bro, the first movie experience I remember having was going to see WALL-E when I was a kid. I was a boy. I went with my dad. My dad took me to see WALL-E at the movie theater around my block. It was the Coliseum right there on 181 in front of the big McDonald's in the Heights.
That's way up there. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
I used to go to the Coliseum. Not too many people know about that spot, nor was they around for that. I used to go to that every month, every year, and they shut it down. I mean, they tore down the whole building like 2020, and they shut the whole operation down like 2015 for real. What, bro? Best experience ever. I'll never forget, bro. My dad, like, oh my God, it was so fire. Like, because I remember WALL-E was like the biggest thing ever at this time. Like, it was the biggest and the greatest movie that had probably touched mankind in a very long time. And I remember like there were school trips going. I went on a Saturday with my dad to the matinee, noon. He bought me all these snacks, all this popcorn, and like, bro, that movie brought me through so many different emotions. And to remember like how young I was, but to be so invigorated, like so triggered, you know, by a film, you know, like that.
Yeah.
Like kind of brings me to the sense of like, wow, those guys really knew what they were doing in Disney Studios. Like, whoever wrote it, like, really knew like the emotion to touch from all levels, from being a kid to I remember my dad sobbing at the end. Like, damn, like, you know, my dad's he's a nature conservative. He works with the parks department in Sherman Creek.
Oh shit! Okay, so he really felt that shit.
Yeah, he felt that shit, bro. Yeah, and like I remember just being like, "Yo, like, nah, like, we gotta save Earth, like, fuck." But yeah, that was definitely my first earliest movie experience ever. I'll never forget the rush of like the kids, because the Coliseum, like, the way it was set, like when you came inside, it's not like AMC, bro, where like, you know, that you got the stairs just going up. When you came inside, it was like this big plateau, and then the stairs start. But you had to like walk to that, and then so it's like a big drop. And like I remember just like all these people like swarming after, all the conversations in the lobby, like the nostalgia, everyone talking about it. I remember there being such a powerful shift in just like how people, you know, related to nature and like, you know, the earth then. But yeah, facts.
That was definitely a reset. I can't remember what year. I mean, I'll just look it up. 2008. So I was 16 going on 17 when that
I
came
was
out.
8 years old, bro. I was 8 years old. Holy shit.
Damn, son. So like, but like I do remember there being this like people saw it, and I mean like people always expect that type of like commentary from Pixar movies, and they expect that type of like soulful reflection type shit. But like that one felt like, I remember watching it too and being like, this isn't like Monsters Inc. or some shit where it's like, yeah, it's like a thoughtful movie, but it's like, I mean, like you could even argue that like that movie's kind of about conservationism, like at least when it comes to like energy, because like the whole point is that like they're supposed to be, or like the metaphor there is that they're kind of like all the monsters are like oil drillers, and they're like exploiting the kids for like a natural resource, because like they're going off the stream energy, and like but either way, like it was like that was all like subtext. But like with WALL-E, it's like the text. It's like we need to save the earth. Like this, it's no, there's no getting around it. You can't be like, oh, I didn't realize what they were trying to say. It's like, no, this is like, no, nigga, like everyone's fucking like,
bro, they gave it to you point and clear. Like, bro, these people are on a fucking spaceship traveling the galaxy, like this fucking like weighing almost 1,000 pounds each,
right?
Sat on these like crazy, like, dude. And when you really look at like where we at now, bro, like it's almost like we're past that point of singularity. You know what I mean? But it's kind of like, that movie had such a deep significance, and I fuck with just how raw and real it was. And I ain't gonna lie, ever since then, you don't really, my opinion, it doesn't matter, but I feel like I haven't seen a movie as real as that from Disney in like a super long time.
I don't know. I can't think of one off the top of my head. Like maybe it exists, but like it was just like, I don't know. It's just like that was like a, you know how I know that movie had a crazy impact, because I'm a big Criterion Collection person. I don't know if you fuck with the Criterion Collection like that.
Criterion, not too in it, but I'm aware.
So I went to go, like, they sell physicals at Barnes and Noble, and I was there looking for a birthday gift for my sister a couple weeks ago. And like every once in a while I go in there and I look through like the Criterion Collection to see if they got any like ill shit. And to my knowledge, I think WALL-E is the only Disney movie to ever be put in the Criterion Collection.
Wow.
Ever. Like, and it's crazy because they don't even like mention that it's a Disney movie, which is kind of fucked up. But like, like it's like, but like that's when I was like, oh yeah, people like really gave a shit about this in a way that, like, that's a great movie, like for a lot of reasons, like on the conservation tip, dude,
let's talk about how many like people sprung the campaigns blasting all over Twitter, and like fucking like AIM and shit, and Facebook, talking about, we gotta save the planet, like I remember reduce, reuse, recycle. I forgot the song. Like that shit got amplified. It got intense, when that movie came out. And funny, I was a part of a nature program called MRP. It was the New York Restoration Project, founded by Bette Midler. It was hosted and guided by Kima Price. Shouts to Kima Price as DC's finest. And man, I was in that program from the ages of 8 to practically 13, and it was all conservatism. We would learn how to plant bulbs. We learn about greenhouses. We learn about solar panels. We learn about sun emissions from the sun, and we learn all this like water life. And I remember it was so cool going in that program at the time, because like I had freshly like seen the movie, and funny enough, we ran it back at a boathouse that sails right on the Hudson River over in 207. Yeah, we had a movie night in there, man. It was so cool, bro. It was so cool, and we saw it again. And and it played a very dope like importance, for when I was a kid, for sure.
That's incredible. Damn, that's like That's like super deep. I love to hear that.
Yeah, bro.
Damn. So okay, like as you grow and you start to have a little bit more life experience and shit, like I almost feel dumb asking this question because you just kind of gave this great answer, but like was there another movie you could think of when you got older that had a similar impact on you, whether that's like creatively, artistically, emotionally, spiritually, like a capital M movie for you that happened after Wall-E?
Man, does that have to be a movie or could it be like, oh man, all right. I mean, if you're gonna say movie, man, I'm a definitely. Oh man, honestly, like, what was? Because I remember I saw it was all a combination, bro. Like, I remember I saw like, what was it? Inception, right?
Uh-huh.
And Inception was like what started my whole journey of like entering more into like the conscious mind and, you know, diving a little further past the linear, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it was a catalyst at the time because I was probably like, that movie came out when I was damn near in middle school. When that movie came out again, it was like 2011,
2010, I'm pretty sure.
Right, I was in 5th grade. I didn't see it till I was like in 6th grade. And that movie kind of helped me become aware of like, wow, this world isn't really like this world for real. Like, you know, there's an inside within an inside, like, holy shit. And it kind of sparked my creativity to, you know, kind of questioning the world and, you know, how like things run and stuff. And that's kind of, you know, so like the hip hop, you know, more music side of things, feel me? Because I was just like curious and it's kind of just how it lingered there. But I'd definitely say like Inception was that, and that's always a frame of reference for me. I use it in videos, I use it in songs. You know, like, yeah, I remember, bro, I was like, man, it must have been like 10, maybe 11 years old, and I was like, bro, what if this is the dream? And what if the reality is like something else? And I remember just reading mad books from then. Like, I've read mad like shit from like Eckhart Tolle, you know, mad shit from like Baba Ram Dass, and I don't know. It sparked a new gateway in my mind. Facts.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like you're not the only person I've heard that from, because I had just started college when that came out. So like obviously, and you're like, as like a film kid and like a rap kid, like obviously like everybody was trying to see Inception at that time. Like that was like the movie everybody was trying to see. And you know, like it you know, like I feel like that was a lot of people's first introduction to that sort of perspective, like at so many different ages, you know. You said you were in 5th grade, like I'm talking people in like their early 20s to like people older than me in like their 30s at the time. Like that was like people like that one had people talking in a crazy way. And I won't front, I haven't seen it. I've seen it one other time since then, and I haven't gone back to it, so I don't know how well it holds up. But when I saw it, I was like, this is like, I have a lot of feelings about the guy who made it, Christopher Nolan. I like him when he's good. So like when he's good, he's good. When he's not, he's not.
He's not.
But, like,
right. We can agree both on that right now.
Right, definitely. So, but like when I first saw it, I was like, yeah, this is tight. You know, like it looked great, like really good acting, and just like a really like well fleshed out and like interesting. Like it made me sad because I don't know if you saw Tenet. Did you see Tenet?
Bro, Tenet, man. I got thoughts.
I didn't like it. How you feel about it?
I'm halfway. I didn't like it. I'm mid. I liked it up until I didn't like it. That's the best way to put it. I liked it until I didn't like it. I think the ending was weird. I think the plot was just everywhere. It didn't have a centerfold, bro. Like it didn't like a centerfold. Like, bro, you're just throwing me into a question mark, and you want me to figure it out. Like makes no sense. Like I did not just pay like $20 to go in this shit. Spend 3 hours of my life, bro, figuring out why the fuck are we so interested in a guy walking in one motion when he's going to, like, bro, it just don't make sense to me. Like,
See,
yeah, and that's an example of Nolan. You know, I mean, when he does good, he does good. He does bad, he does bad. You know what I mean?
yeah. See, I'm with you because I like that type of stuff where it's like you kind of have to, like, the movie presents you with shit and you have to figure it out. Like, I'm not opposed to that, but excuse me, another critic I really enjoy mentioned that, like, he watched it and, like, I think about this every time I think about it now. He was like, it felt like somebody wrote like a parody of a Christopher Nolan movie and then just like took all the jokes out. And like that's what Tenet was, you know?
Wow.
And like
wow,
and like
that's crazy.
That feels kind of fucked up to say, but it does kind of feel like the most like bare bones, like it just, I don't want to say it felt underdeveloped, but it was just like it just wasn't hitting the way it needed to. Like it looked great, the acting was decent, like John David Washington and Robert Pattinson were dope in it, but like,
yeah, I think they were cool to see B2B, but it didn't hold up to, like, what the Batmans were, or what Inception was for me. But still, I think conceptually, like, it was the right thing. It's just like it's not executed well.
Yeah, I'm with you, bro. It just didn't do it for me. I tried so hard to like it too. Like
it's still one of those. It's still one of those. Like, I'll spin back to, like, I will depth put it just to watch it because I love how it looks. I love visually how it looks, But I always get to like that last 20 minutes and I'm like, yeah, change. Like, I can't do this anymore.
Right. Like Christopher Nolan's weird like that because like he's like a technically he's so ahead of, he's so on top of the game technically, but like everything else, like I feel like he doesn't get how human beings work. Like he's like a robot. He like writes like a robot, like examining humans, and like he like doesn't understand how like sex and love and like emotions work, but like he gets like the technical shit, like
and I think that's what will hold always. But at the end of the day, I think like a director and a great writer, understands the human mind, anatomy, and spirit, and you present that on a big screen, you invigorate and you evoke certain emotion, different perspective, and that's what has a soaring wide sail, whatever it is you just put out, and people are going nuts about it,
Exactly, man. And now I'm interested because you mentioned that Inception was something that kind of played into your understanding of music too. So let's jump over to the music for you. Like, when did music become capital M music for you? Like, when did it go from being like a passive thing to being like, I'm invested, I'm all in, like I love this shit?
Okay, bro, I was 14. I went to school. I went to graphics campus, right? And I'm 50th in Hell's Kitchen. And I went there for coding. I learned how to code. Many people don't know this about me. I know how to code, man.
Crazy.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I know how to code. It's a great skill set that we all should know, basically. And shortly after, like, getting into like coming back to a lot of the music I was listening to when I was a kid that my mom would put me on, is certain shit that I'm like, what the fuck? Like, these niggas are spitting facts. Like, yo, like, this is crazy. And at the time I was already like writing raps and shit in my notebook, like I was on Xbox Live. Shouts my nigga George, bro. We play COD, we play zombies, we be like on round 24, and I'll be like, these niggas trying to kill me, these zombies trying to we would just be rapping, bro. With the mystery box, like punching that shit stupid. And at the time I got into this manga called Bakuman. Now, a lot of people don't know about Bakuman. Bakuman has to be, if not, probably like the greatest anime manga like that probably like ever touched this world. It's about these two kids. It's based in real time. It's these two kids. They're from high school, and the main character is the son of a manga artist, and he's got this friend. And he just comes into class one day and he's like, bro, I write. you draw. Why don't we become the biggest thing in Japan and make a manga? It's a manga on two fucking dudes making manga to become the biggest mangakas and anime, like, bro. And the whole, like, I've read every volume, I saw every chapter, and you like see the triumphs they have to go through. Like, these kids, like, they literally get their own studio, they sleep there. I draw manga too. I have like 40-page one-shots and like stuff online, like, you know what I mean? So at the time, you know, just writing and drawing manga too, like, it sparked chemically something in my head, bro. And I was like, this is crazy. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Music, like, this is what I want to do. Like, I want to make these. I want to churn, like, the way they serializing their manga and going to like these big like Shonen Jump and like going over like to Shibuya and all these different places. Same way I'm like traveling to these, you know, like, then I was like, I want to do that, but like with labels, and like I want to, you know, just, like, get the shit partnered with bigger people. You know, it was just way too synchro, bro. Way too synchro. And I referenced that manga in so many different like interviews, different like raps, bro. Like, Bakuman is truly it was the catalyst for me, bro. It was the catalyst. And literally, like, I would never forget, bro. Like, as soon as I hit it, I remember I recorded the studio. Shout out to Corby, man. I recorded at the studio in it was 2014. It was in the LES at the computer center near the Lanchy. And I'll never forget, I made my first rap there. Recorded my first rap facts right before I turned 15. And all that was like all in. It was just this whole compound effect, bro. And yeah, but that's how it came together. Like, I just saw the vision, bro. Like, I literally realized, I was like, bro, if these kids could they changed their world, bro. Like, I could do the same. And like, mind you, in the manga, they're 14, 15, 16. Like, I'm watching them progress. By the end of the manga, they have an anime, bro. Like, they got wives, they have girlfriends, like, they have a whole. The dude in the last chapter is drawing a fucking Ferrari. Like, he's driving a whole Ferrari, bro, to his own premiere. Like, that couldn't have struck me even harder, bro. And ever since that whole period, I've been locked in since, bro. Facts.
Wow.
Facts.
See, it's really beautiful that like you had already been into music, but you know, like your fascination with Bakuman was really like the thing that inspired you to like go hard on the music and the way they were going hard. But like that shit is like you just, even just you talking about it, like how amped you are. Like, I know, bro,
it's just like, I think if every artist read this book, it would increase their drive by max like EXP, bro. Like, I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying. And also, I don't normally like get the chance to like, you know, talk about that so much, because people normally like give me, you know, there's never like a frame of reference for me to like really bring that out. You know what I mean? I appreciate you, you know, just like asking that in that way, bro. Like, for real.
That's why this exists, bro. Like, I appreciate you noticing that, but like, that's why this exists.
Yo, my fault. Sorry to interrupt, but I just wanted to shout out the all-new Real Notes Patreon page real quick. If you're looking for ways to connect and directly support the podcast, the Real Notes Patreon is the best way to do so. For as little as $5 a month, you can gain early day-before access to every forthcoming episode of Real Notes, as well as an invite to the Real Notes Discord server, where you can talk to others about the latest and greatest in movies and music, come through for some listening sessions, and talk about whatever else is on your mind. I know I'm going to be talking a bunch. If you feel like coming up off a little bit more, you could get cool exclusive content, like audio from Real Notes Live and Real Talk interviews. Those will be exclusive to patrons and ticket holders moving forward. Access to retro versions of my 60-second Minute Maid movie reviews, and even a monthly writing and podcasting workshop hosted by me. Regular episodes will still be available on a weekly basis anywhere you get your podcasts, but if you want the extras, you gotta come out them pockets a bit. Check us out at patreon.com/realnotes. That's REELNOTES. I appreciate your consideration and support more than you know. Now let's get back to talking.
So now, before I ask you my next question, well, I mean, like, this is my next question, but like, you ever hear of a manga or an anime called Blue Giant before?
I've heard the name. Actually, I've come across it on the Shonen Jump app. OD, but I haven't clicked it. What is it good?
Oh, it's great. So I'm not gonna go too hard on it right now because I've talked about it a bunch on here.
Uh-huh.
Like the movie adaptation was my favorite movie I saw last year.
Oh wow,
it's fucking incredible. Yeah, so like it started out as a manga and then they made it into a movie last year. GK Films made it. The guy who directed Mob Psycho 100 is behind the animation on it too. But like long story short, Blue Giant is about it's kind of like Bakuman, except it's about jazz. So it's about like these three kids. It's about this one kid who's like a saxophonist, one who's a pianist, and one who's a drummer. And they all come together and they form a jazz band. And they like it's like a shonen, except it's about jazz. So like it's just them. So you know, like it's just them forming a jazz band, trying to play at this one specific venue, and just like their kind of like white hot short-lived career before one of them gets involved in an accident. Like it's
I'm literally
so
downloading this as we speak. By the way, I'm on app.
Yo, it's so much in the vein of Bakuman. I've never read Bakuman, but I've heard of it. Obviously, like it's pretty renowned. But like it's so much in the vein of Bakugan. It reignited. Like I saw it with my sister because my sister got us into a screening that a friend of hers, a friend of theirs was they got us into like a screening and at like a film place. It was super tight. But like watching it, like just like watching the passion that these kids had for jazz, like it really lit a fire in me, and it just like reminded me like I mean, like I always know this, but like I just really felt what they were talking about. Just like passion is everything. Like passion will push you to where you need to go. Like if you really believe in what you're doing, like it's gonna push you further than you could even possibly imagine. I feel so fucking corny saying this shit right now, but like it really like I'm like I don't know where to tell people to watch it because it's not on like any DSPs right now, but like it's so dope. If you find it, like read the manga because the manga is way longer and it covers more ground. Blue Giant. It's super tight, and the music's crazy because it has to be. Like if you're gonna make a movie about jazz, it's got to be nuts, and the music's nuts. So fire, yeah.
Hell yeah! Oh wow! The cover's fire. Okay, I'm literally looking at it right now. This is sick. I'm literally downloading every chapter right now. Fuck yeah. Hell yeah!
Yeah, nah. Let me know what you think because it's super dope. I fuck with it.
That's so cool though. Like how like damn, that's fire, bro. Like I don't really meet too many cats out here that like have had like a big spark off like a manga. You know what I mean? Like recently, I've been running into mad different bijous, from like Wise Boy Jeremy and I always connecting over like Naruto and shit. You know,
yeah.
Like it's other cats out here I've been connecting with over the Jedi shit, Star Wars and stuff. But like, it's cool to see like someone like you, more so on like the media side of things and more on the cultural influence, and like you have that, bro. Like that's fire, bro.
Thanks,
like,
man.
A lot of dudes out here I be seeing cats, trying to portray that, they trying to perform that, you know what I mean, to seem a little more fitting, you know what I mean, and it's nice, to see where the light really shines the right way.
Thanks, man. Nah, I appreciate that. Nah, this has been me since I was like I remember when I first saw Samurai Champloo as a kid, and that was a head bust moment for me, man. Like that, because I mean, like that was, I never thought about. Well, I mean, like I've thought about it like this before, but like that was one of the first moments in my life where like music and like film kind of like where I recognized them both as like separate entities that like completed a whole. If that makes sense, because like the soundtrack, I mean, like it's like Nuhabis and Fat John and Force of Nature and like all of them, like that's like, like I was already really into beats as a kid, but like that started like my like deep dive into instrumental shit and like beat music and just like all that shit. So like So like I'm experiencing the story of like Jin and Mugen, and I'm forgetting the princess's name, but she's dope too. But like, I'm just like experiencing this whole thing at the same, and like that was the first time where I was like, oh, all of these things meld, like,
there we go. I just literally just remember her name, Food.
Yeah, food. There we go. Damn, I don't know what the fuck's going on in my brain, but like, like that was like, I remember when it first came out, and like I was put onto it by a friend, and like that shit changed my life. Like that's like that was like I had to have been in like middle school, like that was a big moment for me.
Bro, Samurai Champloo was a huge cultural effect. Like, bro, I remember like, bro, I got this dude named Oliver. It's like one of my closest child best friends. Dude's sick as fuck. Like, he's just like super hip hop head, super anime head. And that was one of the first joints he put me onto, and one of the first joints that like also, had me dive into hip hop a little further. Shouts, Nujabes, and a lot of his music being synced up on that show. Feel me? I peaked to the GOAT, bro. Yeah, man, I'm glad you brought that up. Samurai Champloo is also fire. Real ones know that show.
Yeah, man. Nah, like, and it's crazy because I didn't know about Fat John before that either, and and like after that, I heard maybe like a couple years after, I found he had put out a solo album called 108 Stars, and that's one of my favorite albums of all time.
So good,
like
so good,
and
so
like
good.
I never would have heard it if I hadn't heard of him from that show. And then on top of that, I forget the guy. I think not LaShawn Thomas. I forget the guy's name, but somebody created a black manga called Teflon Funk, and they had Fat John.
I heard about that.
They had Fat John do the sound. They had him do 2 soundtracks for Teflon Funk, and he has like
fire, bro.
Stupid, bro.
Like, you see, that's one of my dreams, bro. Like, I want to do the soundtrack for like I want to do one of the soundtracks for like Boruto. You know what I mean? I want one of the soundtracks for like, something newer, like a Jujutsu Kaisen or something, like that, like that's so fire. And I also want to, when it all said and done, I want to go down as one of those dudes. Like, he actually was very influential even on the anime aspect of things. Like, he was that rapper that was hired, and he did a bunch of records for these big selling animes that all you kids like to watch. And like hell yeah, bro. Like, I'm so there.
Nah, man. Okay, I was about to ask which one you'd want to do, but you already said Boruto. But like, it's I don't know. It's just super dope to me that we've kind of come like, I mean, like, anime and rap have kind of been like this for a long ass time. But like, like, it feels like right now more people are starting to lean into it in like cool ways, like between like that and like Meg the Stallion, obviously, like she's got her whole Crunchyroll. Tia Corinne too, like I'm just happy that like people, like, as somebody who's been watching this happen over the course of the last like almost 20 years, damn near, it's like cool to see that, like it's cool to see that come together, and like more people, like younger people, be interested in like that relationship. So yeah, I want that for you. That for you.
Appreciate you, man. Nah, it's gonna happen, man. Yeah.
Nah, you already know. I mean, like, I feel like so you mentioned that you were like what, like 19 when you or when you recorded your first song?
My first song was 14 when I recorded
14. My fault.
Yeah, I was 14. Mm-hmm.
So at that point, when did you first know that music was going to become more than just a hobby for you? Like, when did you know this was going to be like your livelihood type shit?
Honestly, like, it always felt like it was going to be like that, bro.
Okay.
Like, it never felt like, I took the intention very serious from the jump. You know what I mean? And I think to answer the question a little more like factual, it really wasn't until maybe I was like 19 for real, like, because I had been rapping, bro, like, what, 14, 15, 16. By the time I touched 17, that's when I started to go outside. Yeah, like, I lived like a very weird kind of like boxed in kind of like parents, you know what I mean? They were just all bullshit, and I wasn't trying to do the most. So like, I could do the most. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And you know, when I did start popping outside and like performing at all these open mics, you know, I had garnered like a dope like traction that was like pretty interesting at the time. And for me, I remember like thinking to myself, you know, maybe it wasn't until I think a year later, I like met some people, some things happened. I was able to fly out to like LA. I played A3C, I played Art Basel, like all this shit. It was activated in just like 1 year. That was boom. That's when it was like really 18, bro. Like that 18 to 19 was when it just happened, bro. I met this music tech company called Treble Industries, founded by my guy Matt Bond. You know, they're not around anymore, though they were, but I would say a lot of the activations for a lot of the music hubs now
Yeah.
came from, you know, they carried the original algorithm, in my opinion. And, you know, it's, you know, they brought your boy home in full, you know. It almost kind of felt like being on a label, but they just weren't a label, you know. They were like a Tinder for music, man. They were the first like Tinder for music for real. And yeah, they, you know, through all these experiences, and I played Baby's All Right that first time that year too. And I was just like, yo, like this is literally about to, this is it. Like this is it. Like this is it. This is it. This is it. Like this is it. Like I don't know what else to fucking do right now in life besides this. Like this is it. You know, and from then I realized my biggest achievements in life and you know, everything I'm gonna do is just centered around creativity. It's kind of honestly bigger than the music, though. It's like creativity is my livelihood. I thrive. My existence thrives fully off everything.
Right. And you know, like I'm happy to you know, like I'm happy to hear that it like extends beyond music, but like going through like your discography as much as I was able to, like, and like listening to like what I mean, like the crazy thing about going through your whole discography has just been like seeing how the styles evolved like over the last like what's it been like 4 or 5 years. Like when did Thomas come out? Thomas was what, 2019,
2017.
Right? 2017.
We dropped the Thomas EP 2017. That was an EP comprised of a bunch of beats ripped off from Monty Booker, Montel 2099, Zodi, Stronger, U4, damn. I feel like I'm missing like 2 other guys, but you know what I mean? That was because I was in my heavy SoundCloud era, bro. Like I was just in tune with everyone. I was in tune with Defy, I was in tune with Slum, you know, I was in tune with Overcast, bro. I was spitting on Overcast beats before Overcast was even Overcast, like for real, bro. Like, I was really like, you know, I was in that, bro, and you know, I came into this music shit very like unorthodox, bro. Like I didn't have a rooted thing in like hip hop. I didn't have a rooted thing in just this. I didn't have a rooted thing in that. It just I just vomited, bro. I was like, I just want to be myself, you know, and I don't know how else to express it other than this way. And you know, I just thought everything would be best if I just go so left. I guess it'll go right one day. And shit, here now.
Yeah, nah, and I can feel that like listening to the project, because you know, like you're mentioning like Swum and Overcast, and you know, like me listening to it, I also, you know, like I hear the 2 of them, and then I hear, you know, like there's like a little bit of Pro Era in there, like a little bit of like Underachievers, a little bit of Flatbush Zombies, you know, like obviously, you know, like those like
bro, that was a big influence for me, bro.
Right?
I met those guys literally right in when my mind legitimized what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. I met those guys right after, like, bro, what is it? Overtime just put out a clip of me chopping it up with Joey, bro.
I was about to bring that up. Yeah,
that was literally right. That was all in the time when it was all clicking, bro. I was having crazy dreams with like Absol, bro. I met Soul. I met Issa. I met AK, and mind you, years now I'm connected with like a bunch of these guys. I mean, I have songs. Like me and AK, we got songs now. Like, you know, me and 30, like me and some of the Prodies, we got works, and you know, it was like a chain link, you know.
Right.
It's just, I don't know, bro. Like, just
CJ's on the new project and everything.
Yeah,
totally.
CJ. Like, bro, what? Dude, I literally texted him a picture for the first Tuesday with It's my sister and her friend in the video, and it's just like, and I was just like, bro, like literally as soon as I put that up, my sister texted me all the photos she took that day.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy.
That's beautiful. And like,
journey, bro, it's been a journey, man.
Yeah, nah, and you know, like listening to Thomas and listening to stuff like Robot Jesus, you know,
Yes.
like you know, like those first two projects are like, I hate, like I don't like I say light because like they sound very like bubbly, and like obviously like you're talking about heavy shit on occasion, but like, you know, like you're just kind of like getting your shit off.
Yeah, I'm just vibing, bro. I mean, at the time, I think where my mind was, like, I was a 17, 18, 19-year-old, you know, filled with a lot of substance, but, you know, like, I don't know how to put it to you, bro, but I didn't know, like, the technicalities of things, you know, like titles to things, and I just was like a blank canvas that would just walk around. Hell, bro, I was like, bro, being sheltered in like practically all my life, I wrote one of the songs off Thomas on the Upper West Side, and my dumb ass wrote like "Put from the Upper West Side." Where I'm like, nigga, I listen back to that like years from now. I'm like, bro, I'm from Washington Heights. I'm not even from like the Upper West Side.
That's
like
funny.
I just happened to be young, dumb, and just like wanted to just express myself. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think that's kind of like where I see my impact. You know, because I think a lot of people come into this shit with like too much logic and rationality, bro. And I don't know, I really just chose the whole other spectrum, and it kind of felt like just a kid, bro, not knowing what the fuck he's doing, just walking in this space like, all right, I touched this, that does that, cool. I touched that, all right, that does that. Oh, I'm really good at this, I does that. And the more I kept doing that, bro, I just kept finding myself in crazier rooms with crazier people and making just crazier shit. And you know, eventually it came full circle, and I had, you know, as I came more into like myself, things became a little more concrete. And yeah, it was super bubbly at first. I feel like a lot of people's first music is super bubbly. That's kind of like how it goes, you know.
Totally.
Like it's super, you know. It's just you shaving off that first leg for real, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm so glad, bro, you've seen those. I mean, shout out Shaqary. He helped me hard. That's my music mentor. He did Robot Jesus, that whole EP for me, bro. Like that was literally done in Bushwick. From 17 like 18 to 17 all the way to damn near almost like 19. I dropped it the ending of 2018, and then I dropped this project called Butter top of 2019. Yeah. And you know, Butter was a little, you know, I'm sure you want to ask about, I don't know, but Butter was, you know, that was more of my lean into more of like okay, those were the first two. I want to condensify this a little more into something. I want to condense this into something a little more serious, you know. But I had to do those first two to understand just who I am, brother. You know.
Right. I'm happy you brought that up because yeah. Like my next question, like considering like that project, and then of course like these two new ones is like, you know, like it feels like you're starting to move with a little more intention, and like you know, you're like more conscious. Like not like just like more conscious of like what exactly you want to say and how you want to say it. You know, like there's less rapping for rapping's sake on it than there is just like you wanting to be like, let me like figure out, just like let me figure out like what I want to say and like how I want to like present this in a way that would like be.
Of course, you have to, bro. I mean, I realized that I was like, I don't want to just be like an airhead running around just. You know, I don't want to be, you know, that guy. It's like, all right, you can rap, but like, what are you saying, dude? You know what I mean? Then that's when that combo gets introduced and more serious. You know, it's serious work. So like, gotta be real about what we, you know, how we put any shit out to the world. And I'm operating on grounds where there's a lot of legends and respect for me. So I want to, you know, be able to hold myself accountable for it.
Right. And, you know, like before we get into like the actual like evolution of your content, I just wanted to ask about the titles for Floor 11 and Room 44. Because like I'm thinking like Floor 11, Room 44, like like automatically the first thing I think is either a hotel or like an apartment building. You know, like I don't know if like
Cracking an
is
Easter egg. You're cracking an Easter egg. You might be a little early on it. You might be one of the first. I ain't gonna lie. I have a bunch of fans like always like trying to decipher the code. This is intentional.
I thought so.
First step.
Yeah.
This is intentional. Floor 11 is symbolic. It was a new beginning. Everything. I 11 in numerology represents mastery of a new beginning. And when I put out Floor 11, it was also the first project I put out fully self-produced on it. You know, I got Ice Cold Bishop on that project. I got Leon Baranakis from Japan, and I got Basco from Dykeman on that as well. And you know, at the time, COVID has struck the world. I'm 21 years old, fresh off producing, literally only like a year to two producing, and boom, put that out. And I played that. Bro, I played that project all over the country. I played that project. I remember I played that project everywhere, from Mercury Lounge to Israeli to my own headline at Elsewhere to South by Southwest to my own tour from Miami to Atlanta to LA to Chicago to New York. Like I greased the fuck out of that project. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, I made sure that its intention was a new beginning, and that's what it was, bro. It was a new beginning. I'm meeting all these new people, all these new characters in my life, all these new skill sets. The transition did more into Room 44 was, you know, essentially like people don't know, like I wasn't planning on putting out Room 44 last year. That was actually by like, I'm gonna be real, it was by luck, bro. Like it was literally intuition and instinct. I was rolling out an album called it's called Michael. And you know, that singles from that are like Bang, 2011, Archetype, let's see, there's another joint. You know, some internals, feel me, you know, politics on one end, feel me, we won't get too into it. I had to make a decision. I'm like, fuck, bro. What am I gonna do next? Like, how am I gonna? What's the next music I'm gonna drop? Like, we're fresh off Archetype, and I'm like, bro, these people are fucking like holding my songs. Like, oh my god, like some shit, you know, some just internal, you know, the creation of it, and I'm like, damn, like, and at the time I didn't have anything concretely ready. Like, I'm even looking through Floor 11 B side, but I already dropped the B side. I'm like, there's only one thing left: this project with James Burns. And I was reluctant to drop it because, you know, it's more so in a heavy set of boom bap and more of a traditional hip hop style. And for years I hadn't been carrying myself in that energy. But a lot of people don't know. A lot of my first music is heavy boom bap. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, it's very much in that centric. So I was like, we on Floor 11, but we entering Room 44. You know, it's this whole, essentially, I look at myself as like a pyramid. We got different sides. I look at myself as not only that, an establishment, a building, kind of like a company. And you know, there's different floors, you got different rooms. And, you know, 44 represents harmony. You know what I mean? And, you know, I put two and two together, and I was like, bro, I'm like, my intuition was just like, yo, we gotta drop this. Like, we gotta drop this. Like, there's no going around it. Like, I gotta just drop this. And, you know, I connected the two, and it's like a new beginning, but I'm entering just a different room. So as I continue to put out the music, I will be following the same theme visually, you know, marketing wise, and it's kind of like, it's real life though. You know, numerology is very real. It's not something I believe in. Like, I just really know, like, you know, we live in a matrix, bro. Shit is spoken through code of numbers. And, you know what I mean? That's the revelation that what it reflected it to be through those podcasts.
Right. Yeah, no, I can I can see that just in the way that you like talk, you know, like you see, you know, like we all process the world differently at the end of the day, but like I'm really interested in the fact that like you learned how to code at such a young age, and like how like I can see how like that, you know, like combining that with like numerology, which I haven't really looked very much into myself, but just like seeing the way those two things kind of help you process the world and see like and just like find yourself in it. And just like, and once again, just like the way you talk about it, like this is all like you like, I know you're not faking this shit, and like this is like really the way you're like moving through all of this. And one thing you told me in passing that like I mean like you kind of like mentioned it already, but just like the general idea, like I remember you told me something like, oh, like I'm gonna be coming with like bars and like an aesthetic that like I didn't really come with before. And I'm thinking to myself, like, you've been coming with bars though, like all like your early shit, like it's all there. But like once again, you know, like kind of like you were saying with just like how you just like how we've both been saying with like all the intention, like for a second when you would tell me that, I'm just like, what do you mean by that? Because like you've always been rapping. It's not, you know, it's not like this is like some 180-degree shift or anything like that.
For sure. I felt like,
but like
this one was just a little more intentional, you know, in the writing aspect was a little more intentional, you know. I think, you know, because like, bro, like if you ask me like who inspired my writing, bro, like Guru, you know, like Big L, like Spino, JID, like Tyler the Creator, like, you know, fucking like Lupe, you know, all these, you know, many more cats always inspired my writing. But if there's something I have to see common in all of them, is like, you know, there's a lot of intention. You know what I mean? Like a lot of intention. So, you know, I as you know, these last couple of years, man, gone through some crazy experiences, right? And I kind of just was like, I want to take this writing to another level. You know, Capital C is one of my biggest influences, bro. And you know, I was like, man, if someone like this could touch me, bro, like emotionally, and invigorate my mind, like I gotta up it, you know. And those beats, respected. I hadn't rapped on beats like that in mad long to almost where it felt like I just did it before, you know. And it was reminding and bringing out all these different things for me, you know, being in these different sessions and getting the verse back from CJ, hearing the verse. But I was off shrooms. I was I was losing my shit, bro. Like I was like, bro, dreams. We making dreams come true on this side. You know what I mean? And like, I mean, it was just more of like a catalyst to growth.
Yeah, muscle memory type shit. Yeah, totally. Yeah, no, like this is very much you like stretching your limbs out and just like and you're just being like, bro, like I can do this, you know, like type shit.
Yes, and like let's not forget, y'all, I can really, because for me, I dropped the pop record before Copacetic. Let's not forget, I dropped a full alternative pop record I fully produced before Copacetic. That literally just garnered traction. Like, bro, that song was sitting at 2K up until like a couple weeks ago. You know what I mean? And then I did Copacetic, you know, and this is to further just one, to give my expression to the world, but to let people know like it's a different league, dude. Like I'm not here to just like, I'm not here to just rap with y'all. Like I'm really here to create and like bring something different to the table that I see, you know, this world can use, man.
Right. You know, and just like to show that you're capable. You know, I mean, like rap's incredible. Like that's why we're all here at the end of the day. But how do you feel Archetype kind of like you're like making Archetype? How do you feel that? How do you feel that like, or rather, do you feel like that was a turning point for you creatively? Like, how do you think like that influenced the rest of the music? Like, how do you think making Archetype influenced making like the rest of your stuff? You know,
people got to know I'm about 4 or 5 years in my head already. I'm this way, bro, all the way. I made Archetype at the end of 2021. You know what I mean? I finished Floor 11 by the tip of 2020. Room 44 was done by November 2022. You know what I mean? Hoskins was made. Hoskins and Crack Jeans were the only 2 new songs really freshly made off it. But like, you know what I mean? I've always been ahead of the curve. I felt for myself. And when I did Archetype, I look back, like that was kind of me first getting into like my indie bag heavy, you know, because I've always been inspired by the alt shit, you know, like I love what Kenny Mason and Paris, Texas are doing, bro. Like, fuck, it's a dream to work with those guys, and like, trust me, we not too far, I'll tell you that. And you know, my guy, Chris Gaskell, he's the one helping me work on this album. You know, like we're always just like I give a lot of like, bro, like kudos to him, bro, because he pushed me more, man. He kept pushing me. It's like, bro, use your voice, sing more, you know what I mean? Like I was really getting to shout out to my boy Araya, Araya, but one of the two. And he's super like, bro, this dude's like electronic drum and bass mixed with like tech. It's crazy. And like, you know what I mean? I was just pulling from mad inspo like that. And that's kind of like, what influenced a lot of those altogether influenced the archetype bounce. And at the time I was beginning to work on this album, Michael, this Michael album, that's between me, it's my real name, bro. My real name is Michael, you know what I mean? It's not Thomas. Thomas was because of the EP, and people kept calling me Thomas. So I said, all right, fuck you guys. Let's do this. You know what I mean? There's even more details to that, but I'll spill that later. And pretty much, I was in, I was big. I just left the studio last night, like with me at Gladstone. He did some crazy, it's kind of like a boom bap fusion with like drum and bass, you know what I mean? And how do I put it, bro? The alternative is here. It's taking over, bro. Like it's real music, real musicians, bro, are like taking the lead, man. And so, that's what Archetype kind of felt like for me, because there's a whole lot of new songs, bro, that I'm about to drop. Y'all haven't heard, respectfully. A lot of them are it's very mixed with the indie and boom bap heavy.
Right.
You know what I mean? But yeah, like, a little rant right there, you know what I mean? But yeah.
Hey, man. That's cool as hell. I'm just happy you're feeling inspired. Because like you're not the only like you and excuse me, you and like Kenny Mason and Paris, Texas aren't the only people like in my circumference who I know are like on that type of time. Like I got a homie, my friend Crash Prez, who lives out in Chicago. Like he's incredible. And like Crash is on that type of time too, like in all sorts of different ways. He's extra fucking dope. So like it's ill just to see people like not feel like they need to be confined to only one thing because people feel like they should be. Like like I'm just a big proponent of people being able to like explore whatever makes them happy, as long as it's not coming down in some like condescending, like pretentious sort of way, which I don't think you are, or like any of them are. So like it's just dope to see you kind of forging your own path and doing it your own way, and like seeing success from that. Like all this intention has been taking you crazy places in the last like year. Like you said, like like it seems like you have it seems like you got like a new single out like every month. Like you've been doing interviews, crazy. You were just on the radar not too long ago.
Yep.
Like so like considering that like you're building up to this like like this Michael album feels like it seems like it's like a statement piece for you.
Yes,
so like like considering that this has all been leading up to that, like I guess before I ask my last question here, like, do you feel like you're leveling up as fast as you want or deserve to be leveling up? Like, do you feel like considering that you're always looking ahead, like you are, like, are you where you want to be right now?
All the way, bro. When I look at, because where I'm so. Damn, nigga, you just hit the nail with this one. I was just talking to my sister about this last night. Bro, where I'm at right now is where I've always been, bro. I've always been here. You know what I mean? Like, mentally, I was always, you know what I mean? For what's happening, I always been here mentally. It's just then, it just couldn't happen because of timing, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I'm such a visionary, dude. Holy shit, bro. I'm such a visionary. Like, I be seeing shit, bro. But it's like they say, it's like the quote goes, I mean, I'm here, where I'm at right now is where I'm supposed to be. You know what I mean? And I feel it wholeheartedly. Like, bro, I'm a stable guy. You know what I mean? I've got a good routine, good ebb and flow, good course ahead of me. I don't feel like I need to rush things or have them go faster. The flame. I'm an Aries, bro. So like when I close my eyes, I just sit and have fire on me. I can't lie. Ever since I started this crazy run back in like April last year, that's kind of what it's felt like. This inferno just around me, bro. Like when I walk, and I'm mad blessed, bro. Like for me, this is the greatest job I've ever had. Bro. You know what I mean? And more than that, like I'm a student for life, bro. And I'm gonna always, play every position that comes with that. Hence why I'm a man of many different hats, and I love it, bro. I love this game. I love the politics. I love everything that come with this shit, bro. I love the good. I love the bad. I love the drought. I love the high. I love the low, but never too high, never too low. And for that, where we at right now is exactly where it's supposed to be, bro. Like I've been putting time. I've been putting in game. For me, it's kind of, if you ask me how I personally feel, I'm just like, look, bro, I don't know. Something's happening. Like, that's all I got to say. Like, something's happening. And tell me, I guess it's just happening now.
Yeah, nah, and you got and you already got so far to go. Like
Right.
you got you yeah, nah, like this is just the beginning for you. I can tell already.
My bro HD been dope. He be telling me, man. Like, stay talking about shit like this. Me and him, me, my Nunez, Fergie, baby, it's my guys, bro. Like, stay chopping it up on shit like this. And you say it like it's crazy. Like, niggas been doing this for years just to see we just getting started right now.
Right. Damn. Like, and yeah, nah, like the sky's the limit for you, bro. I'm just happy you're feeling. I'm happy you're feeling it too. And to bring this whole shit full circle. Michael Thomas, Life of Tom. If your life was a movie, what would it be about? What is the life of Tom?
Like the Tom is a constant, immovable force. If it was a movie, it'd be almost like those notes. You flip them, and it's a drawing. And it's just,
like a flip book. Yeah,
like a flip book. It'd be a flip book of a movie, and it'd be this small dot just turning. Very like things get added onto it, like a clump, And as you reach the middle of it, it starts to subtract, and then it just comes back to what it was, just nothingness. That's just everything, bro. That's the movie.
That's real. Just like it sounds like you're on a trip right now, and I know that's true. So that's I'm happy we ended. I love that shit, man. That's some nice afternoon vibes.
I'm literally peaking as fuck right now, bro. So
that's
I'm
hilarious.
glad that like we had this right now. I answered this whole shit as honest as fucking possible, and I'm glad this lined up the way this did, bro. Like, you're truly amazing, bro. You're a Jedi, bro. Like, never let that shit ever leave you, bro. Like, feel me? Jedi, it's the same force, bro. Like, feel me? Like, I appreciate you, OD Dylan, and like, I really hope you continue doing this, bro. So please don't stop. Like,
nah. Thank you, bro. That means the world, man. I'm just happy to be a part of all of this and just like help document and like look at people who deserve to be looked at, like who are like either on the cusp or there or like what just like we're all like you're doing good work and people give a shit, and like there's a reason people give a shit, and like it's like it's my pleasure to have you on here, to just let you come on here and like talk your shit while you're zooted a little, like fuck it, bro. Like nah, I'm just happy we made it happen, like thank you for your time, honestly.
Thank you, bro. Like, dude, you're a super cool dude, bro. Like, let's build, like I'm always around to build outside the music too. Like, man. Dude, like you're genuinely a great guy already from all the many times I've interacted with you IRL. Like, definitely I'll hit you, like, come to Stu session whenever. Like, bro, you can pop out to the crib, bro. Like, I'm right there in our heights, feel me? I be all over around, bro. I'm always down.
I got you, man.
Build and chop it up.
Hell yeah. Nah, let's make it happen at some point for sure.
Thanks for listening. Shout out to y'all for making it this far. And shout out to all the black people listening too, because y'all really impeccable. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell a friend to come through next time. 1.